Hi everyone. Today we see about the software testing. What do you need of the software testing? It is the quality of the software. The customer want and need what you need of that customer satisfaction. It is compulsory, it is going to be tested because it is the delivery of the product, it is going to be quality. If it is not quality, we can going to be conduct many that means it is going to be it's not a valid software program. That means in the product it is going to be valid. Before you can deliver that product, you can compulsory it is going to be under the testing. That means it is the AUT. That means in the applications under testing it is going to be needed. So today we see about the software testing. What is the objective? That means the objective of this presentation, how to define software testing principles, then what are the types of software test, then what is test planning, then test execution and reporting, then real-time testing. Next is going to be how to define software testing principles. Testing, verification, validation, debugging. Testing means the execution of a program to find its faults or error or bug. Verifications means the process of proving the program's correctness. Validation means the process of finding errors by executing the program in a real environment. Debugging means it is a diagnosing the error and correct it. So these are all the testing principles of the define of the software. Then what is the principles of the software testing? Going to be remove as many defects as possible before test, since the quality improvement potential of testing is limited. That means it is going to be only conducted based on the quality. So it is going to be need of the testing. It is going to be validation. Then what are the types of software tests? It is the unit testing, integration testing, function testing, regression testing, system test, and acceptance and the installation testers. So basically there are two types of testing. One is the white box testing and another is the black box testing. Then in the white box testing is conducted in going to the developer side. That means it is a unit testing. So each one by one it can going to be defined. First it is going to the unit testing. Unit testing, it is one kind of the white box testing, because in the developer it is going to be test the unit testing. So it is going to be the internal test also. So in the unit in the white box testing it is called the internal test, because of the developers it is only need, that means only know that where the error it is going to be clear. So it is a unit testing means it is a individual components are tested. It is a path test. That means it is focused on a relatively small segment of code and aim to exercise a high percentage of the internal path. That means it is going to be developer side. So it is the internal path. That means it is the internal code. It is going to be known of that unit testing. So what is the disadvantages of the unit testing? The tester may be biased by previous experience and the test value may not cover all possible values. So this is the tester. It is going to be the previous experience. Now it is cover all, that means the test value may not cover all possible values, because the tester only going to be based on the test cases. It is give the input and get the output. What is the expected result? It is the difference between the expected results and the actual output. So there is no need the tester it is cannot going to be very correct the error. The only developer it is going to be correct the error. So this is the advantages of unit testing. When it is the when will you become the tester, it is going to be test the unit testing. Next, it is going to the integration testing. So integration testing, it is nothing but it is integrate all the unit testing. That means all the modules, it is going to be in together with the integration testing. So this testing, it is based approach the two type of testing. One is the top down integration test, another one is the bottom up integration test. So first it is going to the top down integration test. The control program is tested first, then modules are integrated one at a time, then emphasize on interface testing. That means the top down means in the test is going to be the control program, it is going to be tested. After that, each module it is going to be integrated one at a time. So what is the advantages? That means no test drivers needed, interface errors or discovered early modular features aid debugging. Disadvantages: test stubs are needed, errors in critical modules at low levels are found late. So this is the disadvantages they approach in the top-down integration test. So this is the pictorial representations of the top-down testing. First it is the what is the control program is tested first. After that, in the modules are going to be integrated. So this is the AB. It is the module. That means it is a T1, T2, T3. After that, it is going to be integrated. So it is the top-down testing. Another one is the bottom-up integration test. That means it is allow yearly testing aimed at proving feasibility, emphasis on module functionality and performance. That means it is bottom-up integration. It is going to be prove the feasibility of the yearly testing. What are the advantages of this test? That means no test steps are needed, error in critical modules are found early. What is the disadvantages? The test drivers are needed, interface errors are discovered late. This is the pictorial representations of the bottom-up testing. That means it is a test driver. That means it is a disadvantages. In the disadvantages, what is going to be mentioned in the test drivers are needed. When will you need it? Now, interface errors are discovered later. So it is a test drive. So it is a main number of level. That means it is a level N1. That means it is going to the test drives. Okay. So this is the bottom-up testing. Next, it is going to the functional testing, another name of the black box testing. The black box testing, it is going to be only need the test. That means there is no need about the develop. That means it is a code. There is no need about the program knowledge of the tester. So only it can going to be test based on the customer the customer requirements. Okay, so this is the black box testing. It is based on the functional. It is undergoing the functional testing. That means it is designed to exercise to test its external specification. That means it is only implementation going to be needed of that testing. That means it's a tester not biased by knowledge of the program design. So what is the disadvantages of this testing? That means it's a need for explicitly stated requirements only cover a small portion of the possible test conditions. So this is the disadvantages of the black box testing. That means what are the possible conditions? Means if for example in the text box it is going to be tested. So in the text, what are the input? That means it is only give the integers or characters, or it is a mix of that number or characters or any of them. It is going to be tested. It is a small portion of the possible test condition. Next, it is the regression testing. So before you can go into the black box testing, it is the equivalence testing or boundary value analysis. Okay. So next it is going to the regression testing. So regression testing, it is a newly introduced changes on all the previously integrated code. That means the common strategy is to accumulate a comprehensive regression bucket, but also a define a subset. That means what is the regressions means? It is overall the process it is going under the testing. So what is the disadvantages means? To decide how much of a subset to use and which test to be going to be selected. Next, it is going to the test planning. So before you can going to be test of that software or any product, in the plan it's going to be must for what are all the needed. That means how many programmers needed and how many tester it is going to be, that all are it in the budget. So it is covered in the test planning. So first you can going to be define the functions and the roles and methods for all test phases. Then test planning usually start during the requirements phase. After that, major test plan elements, that means it is objective for each test phase, schedules and responsibilities for each test activity, then availability of tools, facilities and test libraries, then set the criteria for test completion. Next, it is going to the test execution and reporting. So after you can going to be finish the testing and test planning, you can going to be execution. After that, it is going to be report to the test manager or it is the organizations of the team. So in the testing should be treated like an experiment. That means it is testing require that all anomalous behavior be noted and investigated. So in the big companies keep a special library with all copies of test reports, incident forms and test plans. So what are doing the real-time testing? It is means it is necessary because the deployment system is usually more complicated than development system. So after that, it is going to be apply the rules for testing and the real-time system. It is going to be evaluate possible deadlock, crashing to special timing conditions. After that, it can going to be use test to simulate hardware faults. So it is a real-time testing. Next, it is going to the block box testing. It is the block box test only focus on the input or the output behavior of the component. So in the block box test do not deal with the internal aspects of the component nor with the behavior or structure of the component. Then equivalent testing, it is one of the block box testing technique that minimizes the number of test cases. It is also possible the inputs are partitioned into equivalence classes and the test cases is selected for each class. The assumption of equivalent testing is that systems usually behave in similar ways for all members of a class. So in the equivalent class means it is a coverage. Every possible input belongs to one of the equivalent classes. After that, it is going to be disjointness. That means no input belongs to more than one equivalence class called the partition. Another one is a representation. If the execution demonstrates an error when a particular member of the equivalent class is used as input, then the same error can be detected by using any other member of the class as output. Then boundary testing means it is a special case of equivalent testing and focus on the conditions at the boundary of the equivalent class. That means it is assumption. That means it is a overlook. The testings, the developers often overlook special cases at the boundary of the equivalent classes. Example, it is a empty string. In the year 2000, it is a millennium bug. That means it is a 1000K errors. That means a K error. Okay, is a boundary testing. Thank you.